Hello and welcome to GPTV on Tuesday the 19th of September. My name's Philip Kingston.
And I'm Gary Peer.
And Gary, how amazing has the last week been in comparison to the week before? You're probably wondering what I'm thinking. Well, last week's GPTV came live to the viewers from the sunny Gold Coast.
It did.
Where we were talking about the market plateaued and, you know, the edges come off and it's quietened down a little bit, gone from a booming market to just a strong market. Well, we've just finished a weekend, viewers, where we had 22 auctions, which is a massive number of auctions, where we sold 20 out of 22 for a 91% clearance. Makes a mockery of last week's edition.
It just keeps happening to us, doesn't it? You know, every time we think things are quietening down, and every time we bring our earnest and concerned views to the viewers, we just get caught every time. It's quite extraordinary.
I think the theme for us, Gary, has got to be, let's just go back to frivolity and stupidity on this show. Because every time we try to be cerebral,
or serious,
then
it's just nonsense.
It
all breaks down.
Makes us look completely stupid, viewers.
Breaks down the system. Hey, I got to say, by the way, somebody who was a viewer last week, and maybe while we're talking, if we can find some footage, if Visual Domain can put it up, one of the people who was watching GPTV said that they spotted in the background of our Gold Coast edition some lady by the pool who was, who was turning around this way, turning around that way, and in a bikini. I didn't see any of that. It was all happening behind us, but someone said they couldn't even concentrate on the show, Phil.
And if we'd known that, we would have called it the Tuchus edition, not I can't remember what we titled it last week, but it could have been that. Viewers, it was great to be on the Gold Coast.
What edition was that, Phil? What was that?
the Tuchus edition. Anyway, if we'd thought that one through, seriously, because we're normally pretty quick on our feet, we would have actually got some of the women and men from around the pool.
We could have set it up.
Just wandering across the set with
behind us,
their towel over.
And maybe a guy flexing his muscles and a pretty girl stretching. And
or the meter maid coming around saying, do you need money for the meters?
Right, yeah, we could have made it completely inappropriate, which we probably have already done with some of the comments that we've made. But it was good on the Gold Coast. It was a very, very good conference. And we learned some things,
but I've come back completely fired up and pumped.
And you needed to, because let's face it, you were getting a bit tired.
I was a bit flat?
Yeah, getting a bit tired and washed out.
Viewers,
to bring you back.
We do need to go away from time to time and just refresh.
Well, you do,
and also learn and take time out. I found, interestingly, the 2.5 days we spent together, and we don't often spend that length of time together.
Like we said, 2.5 minutes together up in the show.
But it was good because we kind of just took the time to think and re-strategize. And we've got some wonderful things that we're going to bring into the business over the next 6 to 12 months.
We refamiliarised ourselves with each other, which was lovely too, Phil.
I came to the conclusion at the end of 2.5 years, at the end of 2.5 days with you, Gary, I came to the conclusion I actually still quite like you.
Oh, isn't that lovely, Phil? Yeah. And the feeling's mutual. Now, as we get into the soppy part of the show, let's talk about the weekend, Philip. The towers are up
91% for Gary Peer and Associates versus the industry average of 72.
Unbelievable,
so we are just so chuffed. We had a very good sales meeting yesterday where it was round of applause for all of the great results that we got.
Some counter applause. I love it when they do that. Thank you. Love when you do that. And that is for our vendors who had great success, for the buyers that have changed their lives by buying something, and for our wonderful sales team who worked so hard, and auctioneers, Philip, to get those results through.
Gary, whilst last week we were talking about the turn down slightly, this weekend that's just passed, we set some new record prices.
We did.
So really, it's impossible to predict, but we are blessed, I suppose, Gary, that we do get to sell in areas that are high demand, low supply, and I think that will always carry us through.
I agree with you, Phil. Let's review some of our sales, Philip. Some of the prices, I don't know, some of them are undisclosed. But New Street was great. I saw you at 10:30 on Saturday in New Street, a very competitive auction. That went really well while you were doing
Price
that.
disclosed or undisclosed?
Undisclosed, but sold in excess of the expectation.
It's right opposite the ELSTERNWICK Park, and it's
spot
interesting.
there.
We held the auction inside, viewers, and I was standing in the kitchen meals family room, and everybody was gathered in there, and the front door was open, and you looked down the hall of this kind of Victorian cottage straight out across to the park.
It's a nice
view,
view,
isn't
isn't it?
Gorgeous.
Great place.
Gorgeous.
So well done, a delightful vendor.
Yes.
Got a little bit of interview from the vendor. Should we play that?
I'm so thrilled with Gary Peer and the whole team, Sally, Darren and everybody else. A great result, a great auction. Thanks so much.
And just a shout out to those vendors who have been long-time supporters of the film. Thank you again for entrusting us with your business.
Absolutely. Philip, we went on at the same time, 10:30, we were in Renver Road, Clayton, and Graham Callan did a great job selling that one in excess of its range for $1,466,000.
And
Phil,
interesting, Gary, we're doing a bit of business now in Clayton.
We are, and we've called it as a suburb on the move,
viewers,
on the march.
Viewers, if you want to have a look at a suburb where we think
it's going
it's going to go up in value significantly, Clayton, bizarrely, never thought I'd ever use Clayton and up-and-coming suburb in the same sentence.
You thought it was a Clayton suburb, that Clayton, suburb that you haven't when you're not really
if you think about
having
it,
a suburb.
10 years ago, Clayton, you just wouldn't even dream of even talking about it.
You take your passport to get there, and your safety couldn't be guaranteed. But now it's up and coming.
Very exciting.
Philip, some people say North Road.
Yes.
You always get a few less people on main roads. But some people say, North Road, who'd want to live on North Road? Well, I can tell you, plenty of people wanted to live on North Road, the property that we auctioned there. We expected around 1.1 to 1.2, and our reserve was around the top end. Philip, 6 people bid,
that is
1,364.
That is phenomenal.
Unbelievable.
Phenomenal.
Another great result.
People. I mean, viewers, when we get 3 people bidding on a property, we say that's a really good result. 4 is incredible, 5 is, well, hello, and 6, what is going on here? Did we miss something?
I don't know, but I didn't know 5 was well hello. I have to remember that next time we have a auction with 5 people.
It's a very real estate
It's a well hello,
term.
So do you, when you get 5 bidders, do you say well hello?
Well, I go, no, I do. When the 5th bidder comes in, I go, well hello to you.
Well, hello to you there. I'll have to remember that. Phil,
it's a technical term, Gary. I'm surprised you haven't learned
sorry,
that
I
yet.
obviously missed that session at the REIV. Philip, we had some success where others failed, and we don't like rubbing it in.
Did, Gary.
But good on the vendors at number 3, Raymond Grove, who sold well with us, had a unfortunate situation in the past where they had an auction with no bid and no offer.
Yes.
And we've had an auction. And
3
we've
bidders.
had 3 bidders and a great undisclosed result.
Viewers, I'm going to just make a cryptic comment now because if the vendors of that property in Raymond Grove are watching.
And of course they would be.
All I can say
who doesn't watch it?
What you said to me during the negotiations will make a chapter of my real estate book.
Right.
So viewers, stay tuned.
Retire,
stay tuned. Another 30 years I will write the expose, the book
that one's coming out.
Everyone will want to read, and those vendors will
That was an extraordinary
I think I've heard
situation.
everything until Saturday. It was brilliant.
We'll talk about that offline, Phil. 24 Powderham on Sunday was a very, very...
If you want to know about that, give me a call privately.
No, we can't.
It's just so funny.
Philip, we had a great result in Powderham Road. It says the price undisclosed. I wasn't sure it was, but that was a very competitive and hot auction.
Gary, we had two bidders there competing strongly for it.
Yep.
It was a great opportunity because it was a solid brick home on a corner and with a good land content. So good. It was a solid price, but I think they've done well.
Been in the family for many years. In fact, the lady who used to live there...
Let's have a quick look at some footage
is
of it.
a wonderful lady.
Thank you for your comments.
Hi, I'm very, very happy today. Just sold our house and I'm thrilled that Gary Peer did such a great job for us, and even more thrilled that Sally was unbelievable. She was terrific. She was really the best. Thanks a lot.
Thank you for your comments there from the vendor. Great to hear how happy they are and were with Sally. 12 Dean Avenue, and doesn't Sally do a great job? 12 Dean Avenue is, thankfully, not undisclosed. Am I reading right here, Philip? The range, 1.6 to 1.76.
Yep.
Reserve somewhere around the top of that range.
Yes.
But there must be a misprint here because it says sold for $2,410,000. Was there oil in the back there that you didn't know about?
So here's the thing, Gary. We had 6 bidders on that.
Yep.
We smashed the vendor's reserve.
Yes.
And we did set a record price there for dollars per square metre for land in St Kilda.
Now, cynics will say you underquoted that property, Philip.
Well, cynics can say that, and I don't have a lot of time for cynics, Gary,
No.
so I'm not even going to address the comment.
No.
I will say, though, the property was bought for a very astute man, and I think he'll have the last laugh because no doubt he will create something fabulous there. But interestingly, when we get record prices,
every time we have the same comment.
We take a breath, and that becomes the new price.
And there would always be a cynic in the crowd to have a shot at us for that. But at the end of the day, our job is to get the best price for vendors, and we don't apologise for getting record prices as we didn't there, Philip.
And I think the market is also very efficient, Gary. The market obviously determined that was a must-have property.
Yeah, and it was, and what a great and unexpected premium. So well done to the vendors who were also delighted. It went on interview as well, Philip. We've got a moment for that, maybe?
Yep.
I just want to say how thrilled I am with this auction. I want to thank Gary Peer and especially Sally Zalman. She was just fantastic. You couldn't do better, Sally. And I wish you lots of luck, and because you've given me an awful lot of luck. Thank you.
Okay, well, that's enough of the boasting, Philip, but well done. You get the message that Sally's
isn't
done
it
well.
nice when we can get other people to boast for us?
Oh, exactly right. We love
we
that.
must do more of that.
Exactly right. It's
the boast you have when you're not really having a boast.
The Clayton's
Gary.
boast.
Correct.
Phil, do you reckon anyone knows what that whole
You know
Clayton
what,
thing is? The younger
over,
audience
if
got
you're
no
over
idea.
the age of 45,
Yeah,
you've got no idea.
Explain what Clayton's is, that whole thing.
So Clayton's viewers, there was a whiskey that was a non-alcoholic whiskey that was marketed strongly in the 70s, and it was
or maybe 80s.
And it was
maybe,
the whiskey you would have when you're not having a whiskey.
So
it becomes the Clayton's whiskey.
And it applied, the vernacular applied across everything, wasn't it?
Correct.
So whatever it was,
became
wasn't
part
really
of the popular vernacular.
It did,
but
indeed.
you've got to think about it. Looking back on the Clayton's whiskey,
Yep.
why would you have a non-alcoholic whiskey anyway?
Not quite sure what hit you got
It's
from
just
that.
stupid. No
Phil,
wonder it's not around today, Gary.
What wasn't stupid was the sale in Westbury Street. I've got to talk about this sale because it wasn't really discussed in the sales meeting yesterday. But 355 Westbury Street, St Kilda Reese was a really nice, really nice villa, single level, one of three at the back. But there's a block of flats next door.
Yes.
And there is a party going on, right? And there is music and laughter, and right through the auction, it was like absolutely pumping.
Was it?
So
Did you lose a few
and
bars?
people were sort of a bit awkward about it. And I thought, what the hell? So as the auctioneer, I said, you know what? This is what it is to live in this area. You're in the heart of East St Kilda.
Yeah.
You're in the buzz of a cosmopolitan area. People are going to party and have a good time, and the buyer's got it. So it sold for, hang on, I'll go and have a look, back in the screen. Sold for 823.5, which was above the reserve of 800. The range was 750 to 8, Philip. But what a funny and happening auction, and well done to the buyer and seller alike, and to Leon and his team, did such a great job. Phil, we've got a busy weekend this weekend of auctions. We should talk about all of them, I think.
We should, Gary, but before we do so, I just want to talk about this incredible property that we're in at the moment, number 2A Cyril Street in Elwood.
Yes.
And Gary, you might have noticed that we've strategically put these chairs in front of this beautiful painting.
Yes, we have.
And this beautiful painting is a painting by Paul Davies.
Yes.
And I'm just looking through the catalogue now. Wouldn't mind buying one of these paintings because
make an offer.
Obviously you can see a very strong representation of housing. Yes. I think we should buy some of these for the office. Okay. Now, speaking of things for the office, Gary, I discovered on Instagram last night.
I heard about this.
I'm scrolling through Instagram, and I do follow your daughter, Nina, on Instagram, who's just in the process of finishing her VCE. Where she has got some skills that have come seemingly from nowhere because her parents are probably the least creative people I've ever met.
Hannah's got a great sense of style.
Well, she does, but you wouldn't say the two of you are creative. Yeah. Anyway, your daughter is doing media or something.
Yeah, she is doing media.
And she
it's just called media, not all something.
And she's specialising in photography.
She is, yes.
Anyway, I'm scrolling through my Instagram feed, and I find this photo that she's done as part of her VCE submission.
That's right.
And I'm looking at it, and I said to Irene, have a look at this. This is gallery material.
There you go.
So I sent your daughter a text last night saying, I want this for the office. I want to blow it up for the office. Yeah. I've got to tell you, without trying to give you any more compliments,
I'll take them.
That photo is extraordinary,
well,
and I'm going to put it up on screen now, viewers.
And there you go. Very kind of you.
I'm going to manage your daughter. I'm going to be her agent. So, Nina, if you're watching this, all inquiry for purchase of photos like that. And by the way, good photography sells for many thousands of dollars.
Oh, now I'm interested.
Many thousands of dollars. But I've got the rights anyway. I'm going to have that. I'm going to have that blown up and put it in the office.
Well, she did say that to me, and I didn't spruik her wares, and you found it independently. But thank you. She's very good. My father was a good photographer, as you might remember. In fact, on his passing, we found some of his old photos from Europe that are just quite incredible. One that, when he was a young boy, was one of the finalists in an award.
Really?
Incredible old photo. Beautiful
Amazing
old photo.
to think that skipped a generation and has emerged.
No, I was always a wonderful photographer. Well, as you remember, I used to always have a camera with the kids as they grew up. But yes, she has done well.
Amazing.
And thanks for noticing and putting it on the screen.
It's incredible.
Phil, let's talk about this weekend's auctions if we can, because we've got lots.
We started this whole conversation because we talked about the painting when I was going to lead in to talk about this incredible property, which is number 2A Cyril
We bounce around. Hey, do you remember? Did you ever watch Bouncing Back?
Bring down the footage of that
the house?
property. We'll get there eventually.
Did you ever watch Blankety Blanks?
Blankety Blanks. You got to
Graham
remember Gary.
they didn't show
grew up in
Cootamundra.
Cootamundra. We had channel the ABC, as you know.
Okay.
And then then channel, what was it?
RVN AMV, it was called. That was it, because I used to sit in Cootamundra going, what are people doing in this place? Because you had
and
two
we weren't
channels.
allowed to watch it anyway.
That's right.
Well, my parents, you couldn't watch the commercial
couldn't watch
stations.
RVN AMV, that was a big cross. But for those who are watching, I'm going to do a little comp. We'll get some tickets, some gold class tickets, Phil.
Yep.
If you remember blankety blanks and the significance of the name Cyril, then you just write in and we'll talk about next week. Go and talk about where we are.
So let's talk about Cyril Street in Elwood.
Yeah.
What an incredible property, Gary. I feel like I'm in a mixture of some sort of 1950s Las Vegas or Palm Springs
does
home,
feel like that. It does
or an
feel like that.
LA home, because it's really quite stunning. The owners have created the most incredible property here with 3 or 4 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, stunning entertaining areas. It's sleek, it's modern, but it's intimate at the same time. I'm loving that lap pool as well, Gary. It's just incredible. And here you can walk to Ackland Street, you can walk to Fitzroy Street, you can walk to Ormond Road, Elwood, you can walk to the beach, you can, of course, Gary, walk to Attica.
Yes.
And speaking of Attica,
yes.
Can you remind me, we must ring Ben Shuri.
Yes.
And we must do an episode of GPTV
At Attica.
from Attica.
That'd be good way to see if we can get a few tastings, Phil.
Well,
He was in the
that's
paper. He was in the paper on the weekend. I don't know if you read the article about him.
Yep.
It was very interesting, talking about the life of a chef and how difficult it is and how taxing it is, and trying to reduce the hours.
He can complain all he likes,
Yeah.
right? But I don't, viewers, you might be interested to see Shannon Bennett from View de Monde has just bought a house in Toorak for $20 million.
Well, good luck to him.
So,
Good on him.
spare a thought for those poor chefs slaving away in their kitchens.
No, I think you missed the point, Philip, but that's okay.
Well,
didn't expect you to understand. Phil, this is a beauty. It is going up for auction on Saturday morning at 11:30, Phil. And I don't think I've got an auction on at that time, so I'm going to come and join you here. We'll join forces with Arlene and the team. If you want to see something
nice to
extraordinary,
see you here, Gary.
get
Good to
down
see you
here.
do something
at
on the
11:30.
weekend.
I do something, yeah.
Yep.
Phil, Saturday morning, we've got double auction action at 10:30. We start off in Alma Road. Jeremy Rosen's auctions this wonderful property. Take us through it.
I presume you're talking about 133 Alma Road,
You
Gary,
presume
on the corner
correctly.
of Ravens Grove, but a great opportunity to get into the market. 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom. Great spot there, Gary. Love that spot.
Love it too there, Phil. And as we love North Road, we get another crack at it this weekend. The Viv Samuel is handling this property. Simon Radolnik is auctioning, Philip, in Bentley East.
And Gary, we on a roll in North Road, of course. So this is 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, 1 car space, and a great location there.
That is double auction action covered, Philip. We've got triple auction action 11:30. We're in Cyril Street. We've talked about this home at 11:30. We're in Dandenong Road, Philip. 5 at 332 Dandenong Road. Jeremy Rosen's auctions this terrific apartment.
Gary, we've done so well in this building over the past. It's been a building that people have really responded to. 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, 1 undercover car space. Gary, check out the kitchen and the bathrooms in this property. The owner has done the most incredible renovation.
It's a stunner. Phil, in Leo's Hood in Carnegie, he auctions at 11:30 in Tranmere Avenue. This looks like a great opportunity.
We love Tranmere Avenue and we love Carnegie, but that's a great location, Gary, and a good building, being well maintained. 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom, 1 car space. And you know, you've got to love those buildings, Gary, because the 1 bedrooms of that era, which is the 60s and the 70s,
good floor
they're
plans.
about 30% bigger than the modern apartments
Well, that
today.
one's got a very good floor plan.
Yes,
Philip.
because
entrance hall, kitchen, meals.
kitchen
It's a
with a
beauty.
meals area,
It is, yes.
and a bathroom that comes off a hallway as opposed to a bedroom. And there's a tip for you viewers. Those are the things that we look for when investing in apartments.
And
things
we
like
look
that.
at great positions like Grieve Street, which is the heartland of Jeremy Rosen's St Kilda operation. Lamore's been handling this apartment. I know she's excited about it. Another one with a great
Do you know
floor
the
plan.
worst part about Grieve Street, Gary? Is that the council's kind of cleaned up the area. A lot of the traditional the street workers, the drug pushers have been pushed out of that area. It's been gentrified.
You're disappointed by that, are you?
I reckon
Sort of
it's
sick person
I reckon it's a
to
bit
work
dull
with, yeah.
now there. But
Sort of
this
sick
is
guy, aren't
either
you?
a 1 or a 2 bedroom apartment with a bathroom and a car space, and that building is a terrific building. And obviously you've got all of the amenity of Inkerman Street, where our 2 offices are.
No one knows where Charlotte Place is, Phil, but if you're a lover of the Astor cinema like I am, it's just around the corner from there off Chapel Street.
There's no spiders in this property, is there, Gary?
Why spiders? Oh, Charlotte's
Web.
Web. Ah, very good.
There we
Very
are.
witty and sharp.
Gary, how
Very much a dad joke. that one.
it's shocking. How schmickadoodle, and that's a new real estate
term, yeah.
expression.
It's being used everywhere, that one.
Schmickadoodle, 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, 1 car space. But check out the rooftop terrace of this
Love
property.
it.
This is just magnificent.
That's pretty special.
Michael Jonas, Jeremy Rosen's pretty excited about that property, as they should be.
Sunday morning, Philip, the only 10:30 auction is being called by moi, and Sally Zellman has been the person who's been responsible for bringing that into our company. It's in Elizabeth Street, ELSTERNWICK, in my hood, where I love it.
Gary, you could never afford to live in Elizabeth Street.
No,
and interestingly,
never could.
this is an affordable opportunity
It
to
is.
get into the most expensive street in Elsternwick.
The number one.
Because the houses in this street can sell for up to $5, $6,
Yeah,
$7,
absolutely.
even $10 million now.
Absolutely.
And this is an opportunity
You won't have to spend that here, Phil.
No, 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, 1 lock-up garage. It's immaculate inside. And
Single level
we just
villa.
know how good that property is.
Hard to get them. Triple auction action at 11:30, Philip. We're in Coorigil Road, back in this building that we know so well. Ben Eisner has been handling it, and Jeremy Rosen's auctions.
Well, Gary, this auction's going to fly because we've been overwhelmed with buyer interest in this property. We've set record numbers of people going through, so it's going to fly, this one. 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, 1 carport. That is a really good property and a great building on the Kooyong Road hill that we love so much.
We sure do, Phil. We're in Bentley East on Sunday at 11:30. Leo Samuel's auctioning this terrific and classic looking home.
Well, we love Meylan Street. We've been very successful there. 3 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, and plenty of car parking there. Corner block, 419 square metres of prime Bentley East land.
You open up your account of auctions, Philip, on Sunday at 11:30 in Raphael Street, a great spot just opposite Lenny's, Phil, off Inkerman Road.
Correct, Gary, but this is a great property, but one of its best features is that it's, if you go down Raphael Street, it's a no-through road.
Yes,
go
it
right
is.
to the end. This
There's a little
property's
park
right at the
there.
end, so you literally can walk out your front door of this property into the park.
It's a great little park
It's
too.
a great and bit of an unknown park. I bet you don't
Yes.
know what it's called.
What is it called?
Do you know what that park's called?
I'm testing you.
It's the Memorial Park.
That's
Gary.
correct. You got it right. Good.
We
well
are,
done.
as I know, North Caulfield back to front,
You
Gary.
do, like the back of your hand, Phil. We move on to Narong Road, talking about North Caulfield. What a stunning apartment this one
Gary,
is.
been beautifully renovated. Check out the renovation, check out the parquetry floors, check out the bathroom, check everything out. 3 bedrooms, 1.5 bathrooms, a car space. That's really a turnkey property, that one, Gary.
Owned by 2 very prominent and successful real estate agents, by the way, Phil, that
yes,
one.
correct.
We'll move on to 1:30, Philip, Coorigil Road, Carnegie. Leo Samuel is looking forward to that auction, I know.
we
Back in Carnegie
just
again.
love Carnegie, of course. And
Can't
this
get enough of it.
It's a single story with what everybody's looking for, Gary, which is land, a gorgeous courtyard setting, 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, a lock-up garage. It's really got everything that you want and more.
South Africans say house it, but we say Howitt, because we know that Howitt Road, Phil, is the best street in Caulfield
It's
North.
champagne comedy today,
It's
viewers.
coming at you.
It's just thick and fast.
Doesn't stop, does it?
Well, Hewitt Road is the number
Yeah.
1 street of the city of Glen Ira,
No
let
question.
alone Caulfield North, Gary.
Yep.
And if you're going to buy on Hewitt Road and you've got your choice, you are, of course, going to buy on the west side of the street.
Yes,
Not
indeed.
that there's anything wrong with the east side of the street,
Phil.
but on the west side, Gary, you do get all
Get
of
the
that
afternoon
afternoon
sun, yes, you do, Phil.
And if you're going to buy on Hewitt Road on the west side of the street,
Yep.
where are you going to buy? You're going to buy in the middle, and
You are.
51 Hewitt Road is pretty much smack bang in the middle of Hewitt
How
Road.
much land have we got on offer here, Phil?
Well, Gary, we've got 1,091 square metres
That is
of
incredible.
prime land, together with over a 20-metre frontage, Gary. The house is very livable,
Yep.
very lettable, and could be improved. But obviously, if you have a look at the theme in Hewitt Road, it's all about building, big, brand new, prominent houses.
I would
And-
say that's the best block of land that's been sold this year.
Well, Gary, it is
Caulfield
the best block
North.
of land in Caulfield North,
Yep.
and it wouldn't matter what you pay for
No.
it, because in years to come,
Yep.
you're going to look backwards and go,
Thank
what a
goodness I
bargain.
did it. Yep.
Speaking of that, we're going to look backwards for a moment, because
Yep.
we sold a house in this direct vicinity
Yes.
back in 1994 or 95.
So talking about, Raymond Grove, great story, Phil, and great story in terms of a result and
Yep.
outcome, and and how we turned a negative experience for the vendor into positive. But how about the game there?
Well, hang on, before we talk
Yeah.
about the game, viewers might not know
We've been regally appointed, yeah.
that Her Majesty Royal Highness, when we can have a stamp.
Yes.
What's the royal
On
stamp?
Her Majesty's Secret Service.
No, but there's a stamp,
Yeah.
when you're appointed, like you
Yes.
can be the person that sells leather goods
That's
or
right.
coffee.
Yes. There is a term.
There is
Remember
a
it,
term,
yeah.
and
Your father would know. He'd know that.
would know,
He would know,
even
yeah.
though he's a staunch Republican.
I know.
But viewers, you might not
Appointed,
know
yeah.
that
Queen
we
appointed.
are the real estate agent to the Queen in the Caulfield and Glenira area.
right.
So the Queen has obviously made a number of appointments around Melbourne.
Some of them quietly, Philip.
Appointing agents.
Yeah.
And obviously a lot of people don't know about this, but we actually sold Raymond Grove for the Queen.
Yes.
And she unfortunately missed a big capital gain, but let's have a
Yeah.
look at the board.
Yeah, here it is. How's that, Phil? What a great shot from the old days. And look at the price. Sold now, you can take that down, but sold for how much now? 5 times, was it? 5 times, something.
Yeah, over 5 times.
Something over 5 times the price. It's unbelievable. That just goes to show what gains there are.
Yeah.
Is it 5 times? Like, anyway, many times over. I think it is something like 5 times.
But
Incredible
you know,
gains.
it's just so, it's so wonderful to work for the Queen because
it is, yes.
you know,
And,
she's just.
we thank you, Her Majesty, for appointing
You are
us.
a good sort, really.
Exactly
you're
right.
just you know,
Yeah.
fabulous. And she paid a big fee to it.
I didn't negotiate.
I
did
was
you?
a bit embarrassed to charge her
Yeah.
12%.
Exactly
But
right.
said,
She was
"You
happy
know
to
what,
pay.
big deal."
She saw the value,
Yeah.
so what can we say?
Yeah.
We had to agree.
She said, you know, it's the least she could do for poor convicts.
Exactly right. Love it. So much going on. The market has certainly stood strong last week. The results are good, the competition's good, the interest and engagement of buyers are still good. So it looks like it's a very steady ship going through spring.
Do you know, I think the interesting thing is, I don't think that spring, there's been a lot of talk about a volume of stock coming to the market in spring.
Doesn't feel like
I
it's
can't
massive,
see it.
no.
I can't see it in our areas. We obviously look at a lot of other areas as well.
We do.
All anecdotally, when I'm speaking to other agents in other areas, everyone was expecting a monster spring.
Yep.
I think it's going to be busy,
Yes.
but I don't see a flood of listings
Neither do I.
at all.
So message is, if you see something you like, just jump on it because it may not get better in terms of other offerings.
And if you're thinking of selling, not too late to come to the
Yes.
market and come to the market in the knowledge that there is going to be a lot of buyer activity. If last weekend was anything to go by, Gary, it's going to be very strong pricing in spring.
Quickly before we go, any block news that we're allowed to say, or do we just keep teasing until next week?
Well,
and
Gary,
check with Jeremy first?
all I can say is that I've had a look at the photos that we've just taken of the block house.
Amazing.
And
Yeah.
all I can tell you
I saw them with you.
I was shocked. I mean, look,
Stunning.
we know with the block they do a great job on anything they touch, but we're all a bit unsure as to how these houses are going to work out. I am blown away
So was I.
with the level of quality, the level of detail, and the thought that's gone in to the
unbelievable.
renovations is quite incredible.
We might even see if we can get an interview with our.
Well, he said he would.
Yeah,
Gary.
we've got a few people we could be interviewing. So stay tuned for GPTV. There's some great block stuff coming up. But that is a big wrap because we've run over time because we just babble on. But that is a big wrap on GPTV. We look forward to seeing you next week. I'm Gary Peer.
I'm Philip Kingston. Have a fantastic week.